Hi, what's up, you guys? I'm gonna help you guys pick the right college or no college. It depends honestly on what you want to do and what you want to study. So yeah, this is just what I've experienced and a bit of research I've done, and just in general talking to people, watching videos, being on Reddit, on the internet in general, and just knowing how people feel about college. Everyone gets so obsessed over college. In high school, everyone's like, oh, where are you going? Oh, this or that. It's just so college oriented. With 6 simple steps, I'm gonna help you decide which is the right college for you, or decide whether or not you even need to go to college. Okay, so step 1, you need to decide what you want to do in career-wise, what your passion is, or what just motivates you, basically. Because my thing is, there are certain majors that exist that shouldn't really be a major, because you can honestly get them through experience a lot more than just going to school, taking courses about them, and then graduating and either paying the money to be at school during those 4 years, 3, however long, and I don't know, or being in debt depending on which university, college, whatever you go to. There are certain majors or career paths that you don't need to go to college for. Despite everyone telling you that you need to go to college, there are just certain things that you don't need to go to college for. For example, a lot of people study business. They major in business. That is one of the majors that you don't need college to become a business owner or manage business, because you learn how to manage business by being in the business, if you know what I mean. That's a major that you would honestly prefer to go into the field just doing. Or if you want to do real estate, for example, there's a YouTuber I like to watch, Graham Stephan. He's amazing, first of all. I love that guy. He didn't go to college. Once he turned 18, he got his real estate license. He saved up his money in order to get it, by the way. You have to pay a certain amount of money in order to get a real estate license, and it depends on which state you live in, etc. He's a millionaire now, and he didn't go to college. So just determine what you want to study and what you want to delve into, and that's where you should research, oh hey, do I need to go to college? Will it just be better for me to go into the field? It's like, for example, acting, singing, being a musician. There are just so many careers out there that you don't really need to go to college for. More hands-on jobs that are more labor centered, such as construction, stuff like that. You don't go to school and go to college and be like, oh, I want to major in construction. Let me just take a million classes on how to build a building and never actually build a building. You know what I mean? I don't know. For example, Alicia Keys. She went to Columbia for a bit, but then she left because she had to focus on her career, because honestly, she's so successful now. And did she finish college? No, she did not. For example, Conan Gray, he's an indie artist, and did he finish going to college yet? No, he hasn't. He's been focusing on his career, his music career, and that's what's been guiding him. There's just so many careers out there that you don't need to go to college for every single one of them. That's a big thing that I'm just passionate about. You don't need to go to college. You don't need to. For example, if you want to be a doctor, I'd rather you go to college and go to medical school and do all of that before I let you remove my wisdom teeth. I don't know. I would prefer you know what you're doing. I can't just watch a YouTube video and be like, how to do open heart surgery, and just do that. Yeah, no, that's what I thought. Or maybe there is. I don't know. I've never looked that up, but I'd rather not. Yeah, step 2. So once you figure that out, make a list of colleges you'd like to attend, and make sure to talk about the area it's in and whether or not it's close by where you live right now, etc. If it's out of the country, if it's out of the state, if it's in the state. Prestige is a major thing that people focus on, and I honestly fell into it too. A lot of people fall into that worry of, oh my gosh, I need to go to a prestigious school, my parents want me to, or I want to impress people because I already said I was gonna apply to Columbia or UPenn, etc., Vanderbilt, NYU. There's so much pressure, but you just have to be honest with yourself and say, hey, listen, I want to go here, and it's okay, you know what, I might get rejected, I might get deferred, etc. Or you know what, it's fine. You know what, I will make the financial sound decision of going to a state school because it's cheaper, a community college, etc. because it's smarter for myself financially. And besides, at the end of the day, you're the one stuck with your decision. You shouldn't let anyone else influence your decision. And whether or not you realize that they are, they are. We're all really affected by our environment, and just be honest with yourself. At the end of the day, you're the one that's gonna have to pay the $40,000 per year of tuition. It just comes down to what you want and what you need and what's best for you. So step 3. So apply. Which seems simple enough, but this is probably like the worst thing ever, because applying to college, prior to this, you have to have had taken a couple tests here and there depending on where you're applying, because certain schools require different things. Personally, the ones I applied to only required the SAT or ACT, etc. I hate standardized testing, but that's a different story. Anyways, I spent ages, and when I mean I spent so much time scrolling through Reddit, YouTube, and everything, looking for how to get into blank school, how to get into an Ivy, how to get into a top 20, etc. Like, it really has consumed a lot of my high school life. And was it worth it? No, it wasn't. Unless you could say, oh, it was worth it because I can make this video now. But like, other than that, it was not worth it. Don't obsess over it because it doesn't help you. And at the end of the day, I have so many friends who, at the end of the day, were like, you know what? I wish I hadn't spent so much time worrying about what college I was going to and rather focused on other things. At the end of the day, all the grades you make in high school, they're for yourself. Sometimes it's like, oh, was that all-nighter worth that A on this assignment? Because after high school, it doesn't really matter that much, because once you get into college, it's like, you know what, you start all over. I honestly am so happy that I didn't spend a million years writing and curating the perfect essay, because there is no perfect essay. Like, I'm sorry to break it to you, but I know there's so many people who are freshmen, sophomores at prestigious universities, and they charge incoming college students so much money just to read their essays and proofread them, etc. But the thing is, the reality is that they don't know how they got in. They might tell you, oh, I got in because of this essay. Oh, I got in because I was leader of this club. I did this. I solved cancer. I solved world hunger. I am Jeff Bezos. They can tell you everything that they did. But honestly, at the end of the day, they really don't know why they got in. Like, trust me, I know, because I don't know how I got into what schools I got into. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And I have friends who got into Yale or Princeton, and they don't know how they got in. You know what I mean? So how would someone else just get the magic key? You know what I mean? That's like, how would they just know how they got in? It's impossible. Like, you don't know. Unless you are the admissions officer who read their essays, then no, you don't know why you got in. It's really hard to not obsess over things when it's honestly just right there. I even felt like my reactions to my like college decisions, which is so cringy, I know, but I did, because I was just so consumed by that media just being there on YouTube. Just apply, decide whether or not you want to do early action, which is what I recommend. Just apply as early as you can and as soon as possible, because you will thank yourself later for doing it now rather than later. That, and if you apply early action, typically that's when you can get some more scholarships, get into like honors colleges, etc. There's just a lot more there if you apply earlier. It's like the early bird gets the worm type of thing. Or you could do regular decision as well. Typically they accept applications up until March, because I know I applied to like a couple schools in March, which is bad, I know, but it was okay. It turned out well in the end, so it's okay. But don't do that. Or you decide, oh, if you want a legally binding, like if you get accepted, you will have to enroll, despite it being very expensive or not, which is restricted early action and early decision. But yes, that's up to you. Just remember that there is no real formula. Listen to me, there is no real formula to get into any top prestigious school. There isn't. Like, let me tell you, that's like my little secret to you. There isn't. I promise you, there will be people that will tell you, hey, listen, this is how you get into Columbia or Harvard or Stanford. But no, there isn't a formula, like I promise. If there was, then I'd be profiting off of it. Let me tell you, I would find it and I'd be like, you know what guys, for the little price of like $1,000, here's the no kidding, I wouldn't do that. But point is, there would be someone profiting off of it, which there are people profiting off of like an idea of what they think it is, but there is no formula. Just know that. Okay, step 4. Decisions, which is like a really rough time, I know, because you either get accepted, denied, or waitlisted, or if you apply early action, restricted early action, or early decision, you can also get deferred. This is like the sad part of this video. I know that this can be a really hard time for you if you got rejected from one of your top choices, or all of your top choices, or all the schools that you really wanted to go to, and then you ended up having to apply to a state school instead because you realized that you can't afford all of your dream schools and that you are just kind of just sitting here, you know what I mean? This is a personal thing, but listen, I know that it will turn out well. Just like whether or not you feel like it will be okay in the moment, I know it will be okay. Like everything will turn out okay. I know it may seem really rough at the moment because you're in tears, just crying because you feel like all the work that you put into it didn't pay off, but it will. It really does. Like all the work you put into high school and your grades and everything, it does pay off. Like I promise it does. It really does. It may not pay off in the way that you see it, but it will. With the experiences you've had and the stamina and endurance you built up for staying up all night or just working hard and taking hard classes, or if you didn't, that's okay too, but still, just everything you put into it, it has a reward, whether it might seem like it in the moment or not. Anyways, that was really sentimental. I will back up a little bit. Step 5. So once you've been accepted or denied or waitlisted, this is when you look at the options of where you've been accepted. My main thing for considering schools is financial aid or just the money you've gotten or like affordability. Because to me, financial liberty is so important because it's absolutely consequential to live a very financially stable life. So personally, okay, this is gonna get really real, but I will include my numbers. I feel like no one really talks about financial aid in a very clear way, if that makes sense. I feel like people just don't like to talk about it. So here's my estimated cost of attendance for Binghamton, for example. And basically, I did not get any money. In other words, like the net cost to attend was so high and it was just not worth it. It was not affordable because why would I pay that much money? And it's like so sad because to be in-state, it's so much cheaper. But even then, it's expensive, honestly, if you don't live there. But yeah. Okay, here's another example. Syracuse, I got accepted there. And at first seeing it, it's like, wow, you got a lot of money. You got $29,000. But then you actually look at it, the cost of attendance per year, and it's so much money. And then you kind of see what you get per year, and then you see, oh, the net cost, it's like, oh, okay, you have to pay $55,000 something. And then you have to see what your family has to contribute, supposedly, even though sometimes you don't have that help because sometimes your parents are like, you know what, you're on your own, kid. And this is from Purdue, and this is an in-state school for me since I reside in Indiana. Basically, the financial aid was so good, honestly, compared to all the New York schools I applied to. This one was the best, of course, by far. I was so happy with what I got, and so ultimately, this was a fantastic option to choose from because of that, and that alone. Look at the financial aid aspect, because, you know, like I said, it's very important. But yeah, now you see why, to me, it was really daunting, because in my mind, it was so different, because I feel like it's depicted in very weird ways. So this is me editing it now, and basically what I mean is that it's romanticized because people see it as, oh, I don't care how much I have to pay. I don't mind paying $40,000, $50,000 a year. Just as long as I get into my dream school, I don't mind paying whatever amount of money. It's okay. And you kind of dismiss it, and it's very dismissed, and that's what I mean by weird. I saw so many videos of people reacting to college decisions and them making their college decisions, and whenever, okay, so I watched one, and I remember there was this girl, and she got accepted to like NYU Abu Dhabi, which is one of the NYU schools, and so she got a full ride to it, and I was so impressed with that. And then she got also accepted to Barnard, and in my mind, when she picked NYU Abu Dhabi over Barnard, I was so crushed because I was like, But then she was like, you know what, 22K a year for Barnard, full ride. And she was like, full ride's more smart. I was like, now I realize why. Once I got my financial aid, I realized why she picked the full ride over a prestigious name. It's like the difference between picking honey wheat circles over honey nut Cheerios. Like at the end of the day, it's literally just that. After that video, I watched another one, and so basically it was this girl. She had a bunch of schools. So she was like, okay, so I got
a full ride at this state school, but then I got like, okay, yeah, I have to pay like $30,000 a year for this more prestigious school, but like, you know, the prestigious school's the better, so.
But the full ride, you know what I mean? Like now I'm just like, bro, a full ride, that is amazing. Why don't you just take advantage of that? Yeah, maybe it's in a state you don't like that much, but financial liberty, and you can be happy anywhere. Like that's a big thing that I didn't realize as well, that going to a certain school won't make you happy. If you're not happy right now with yourself, then you won't be happy there. I don't believe that just going to prestigious school will make you immediately happy. I think on the contrary, it'll probably make you more stressed because it's a difficult environment that's super competitive, that has a lot of resources and a lot of potential. I'm not trying to talk you out of going to an Ivy League or a prestigious school. I'm just saying that you have to think about it. Like, yeah, if you have a full ride to an Ivy League, and you have to pay like $3,000 a year for a state school, then go to the Ivy League. A couple friends actually got into really good schools through like a Questbridge program, and they got full rides. And to me, I was so happy for them because they got to like go to Tufts or Princeton and for nothing. And that's beautiful. I love that. That is financially smart. That is so amazing. If you're going to go to a school, you're going to go to an Ivy for like $40,000, $50,000 a year, but you have a state school that you can go for virtually free. Compared to that, then go to the state school. I know that a lot of people don't have a university that they like in their state, but I promise you can be happy there. I know it might not be the best thing, but as long as they have your major in a school in your state, if you need it, then I recommend that, because it's just sometimes smarter financially, unless, like I said, you can plan ahead and you know you can't afford a private school out of state, then apply through Questbridge, apply through scholarships to be able to get there. My thing is, if you work hard enough, you can reach anything you want, you know what I mean? If you want to go to an out-of-state school, you can do it. Just go to scholarships, do everything you can, and you can go there. I'm not saying that I have a formula for you to be able to get into any school. I think that's like stepping into different territory, but I'm saying that if you really want to achieve something like going out of state, you can do it. You can do anything you want and anything you set your mind to, because I believe in you and I know you can do it, and I know that anyone can do it. Another thing, just because you go to a college that isn't an Ivy League doesn't mean you won't make as much as someone who does go to an Ivy League. Just because you go to an Ivy League doesn't mean you'll be more successful than someone who goes to state school. It honestly all depends on you. If you want a hard, challenging curriculum and everything, you can do it at your state school as well. You just have to challenge yourself, take a lot of classes, whether it's working a job or being involved at your school. There are so many ways of making your experience busy and fulfilling, and there are just so many preconceptions formed about Ivy League students versus non-Ivy League students, etc. There's just so much. I could talk about it more if you guys want me to. So step 6, final step, here you go. This comes down to the deposit fee and everything else, basically, once you make a decision. And this is the exciting part, because you get to celebrate the decision, and then you get to like rejoice and be like, I'm done with the college process, because honestly the college process sucks. Because number 1, college in the United States is so expensive. Number 2, they ask for so much. You have to take standardized testing and everything and be like super successful and cure cancer and be amazing and superstar and do everything and be perfect in high school, basically. And just number 3, I don't know, it's a long process. It's draining, it's stressful. So be happy you're done with it. Like, let me tell you, I'm happy I'm done with it. I'm happy I'm going to college and I'm just done with it. Some schools, if you, for example, need it financially, they will pay for your deposit fee and it kind of just automatically pops up. I know my school did, and I'm super thankful for that. That's amazing. The deposit fee, honestly, it just goes through to the cost of your school if that makes sense, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. So it's just immediately going back to you. It's not sort of like, oh, they're taking more money from you. I mean, they kind of are, because they want it right then and there, but still, especially if you have to pay for like sending test scores, etc. I know college is expensive, I know. I hope this helped you in some way or another. I wish I had this video when I was younger so I didn't obsess over colleges so much. I could have spent my time doing other things, literally anything else. I could have been focusing on being a kid. I don't know, but I hope this helps you, and let me know if you have any questions. Comment down below if you have anything regarding me or my decision or more college advice. This is just advice. You don't have to take my advice, obviously. This is just me. I just want to help you guys. Like, I just want to share what I know so someone else can benefit from it. That's like my purpose and my goal here. I just want to help you so you don't have to go through the same mistakes that I made. And I want you guys to make good decisions, because you could avoid my bad decisions. But yeah, that's all I have to say for today, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope this video helped you in any way. And yeah, just subscribe if you want to see more content from me, and make sure to give it a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, just like Graham says. That makes me laugh, so yeah, I don't know what I'm saying, I'm rambling, but yes, that's all. Bye.